Welcome back into Game Fanatics to our continuing Let's Play of The Rootrees Are Dead. I might do a double feature today. I'd really like to make some progress. I'm probably going to be using the hint quite a lot, at least until we get evidence that actually helps me with figuring out who some of the rest of this family tree is. Because I'm pretty sure I've gone back through all of the evidence at this point for any clues that we can get about different family members that we currently have in evidence. We have several pieces of evidence that aren't all that helpful, including like pictures of the family trees, like without more information. And we know nothing about this. Next president, Guy Hudson. Who the fuck's Guy Hudson? I mean, clearly he's married into the Roottree family. I just don't know where the Hudsons play into it. At all. The only thing I could think of is maybe Angelica marries a Hudson. But there's not that many Hudsons from here. She could have married Christopher Hudson, had two children, Bonnie and Guy Hudson. Guy Hudson over here, Bonnie over here. Guy gets married to somebody else, becomes the next president after Zach, but then dies before having any kids. That is how that looks to me. And then, of course, Bonnie Hudson's last name would change with her spouse, and then they'd have two kids with different names. That's a potential way of seeing that, based off of just the names alone, but that's entirely a guess as to whether or not her spouse is Guy Hudson, or not Guy Hudson, but Christopher Hudson. I could also make the same guess over here and say, like, you know, Guy Hudson could be over here, married to her other sister, her younger sister. I don't know. Or it could be part of this family, for all I know. Anyways. Yeah. So, hint. The article about Stephanie Jones in the Butler Times mentions someone else had been featured in the newspaper too. I'm pretty sure we've already looked into this. Alright, let's see if we can figure it out. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Lanton, until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones. So, Brian Jones is mentioned. Brian Jones is a famous athlete who broke a pole vaulting record in 1954. He doesn't seem related to the Rootrees. If you're looking for a different Brian Jones, you may need to search more a local resource. So if we go here and we do Brian Jones. Alright, there are many advertisements over the years, as well as a small article from 1995 about Jones Graphic and Print. The article is a piece about Brian Jones taking over his father's print company after 20 years. Brian seems to not have let it go to waste as a marketing opportunity during an interview portion. So, what do we even know about Stephanie Jones? We don't know anything, because Brian Jones apparently has no connection to the Rootrees, as far as the internet was aware of him. I've been in and out of that shop my whole life. My father taught me everything there is to know when it comes to getting the job done right. And getting it done quick. We've been a printing staple of Butler County for years, and even the Butler County Time uses us for their coupon pages a few times a year. Thanks, by the way, he laughs. But still, whether you're a new client or one of our regulars, nothing will change. Come on down to the best prices on bulk printing anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. Or search for us online. I designed the website myself. Jones Graphic and Print is a company that, according to its website, has existed in Butler County for some time. The website seems fancy. It even has frames. The website lists the address, hours, and a few examples of clients, and the types of work that was done for each. So Jones Graphic Company has done Stephanie Jones campaign mailers, Roottree Candy Company various banners and posters, Butler County Holiday Light post banners, Miracle Network tour flyers, Roottrees Motors coupon flyers, Butler County School District various banners, Butler Summer Theater posters, contributions for Children of Eden. At the bottom it says, we also do web design. Come on in and get a quote today. Roottrees Motors, we're going to look into that. That probably has something to do with some of the family. Butler Summer Theater posters and set contributions for Children of Eden. Children of Eden is a musical with songs by Steven Schwartz, a game designer by the name of Jeremy Johnston. Really likes it. Realized it could kind of fit timeline-wise with a game he was making and decided to use it instead of something fake as kind of an Easter egg. You don't need to check it out, but if you do, I like the songs The Hardest Part of Love and Lost in the Wilderness. Also, if you haven't already, you should hit the back button to go back to the Jones Graphic and Print. Instead of searching for Children of Eden, you should probably search for whoever was performing it. The Butler Summer Theater performs plays and musicals during the summer. Makes sense. As is Not Summer currently, their website has a thank you message. Thank you for making our 1998 season such a success. Stay tuned for announcements about performances in 1999. The website lists the credits of a musical, which seems to be the final show they performed last season. There's a cast list, but none of the names seem relevant. Below the cast, it lists the crew, and two things stand out. Posters and additional set design elements by Jones Graphic and Print, and choreography by November Studios. Local dance school, they advertise lessons, ballet, and jazz. There's hardly any information available. Alright, so November Studios. Search periodicals. Instead of November Studios, maybe they should have called this place No Mention Studios, because you can't find any information about it anywhere. Nice thought, though. Nothing. I'm sorry, but why did that Easter egg tell us to look up Butler Theater, Summer Theater, when there's no information from here that I can find? Roottrees Motors. Let's look them up. Find a hit for Roottrees Motors on the graphics design website, which you've already seen. You don't find any trace of them on the internet. As a local business, they may be featured other places, such as periodicals. Alright. There's an ad for Roottrees Motors in the paper. It seems Roottrees Motors used to be called Wilkins Motors. An ad for Roottrees Motors has run every week at Butler County Times for many years, but recently has been changed to include a picture. 3 different unique versions of the ad have been added to your evidence. Wilkins Motors. I can tell you why it probably changed. Nothing relevant there. Alright, let's look at our new evidence we have found. Alright, Wilkins Motors is now Roottrees Motors. We may have a new name, but we promise we're still the same family business. All that's different is we've joined a sweeter family. Funny noises? Need new oil? Come on down. We'll fix her up. All the fixers at 555 fix her up. Right off I-72, take exit 23. A Roottree Motors ad that ran from 1974 to 1977 advertises that the former name of Roottree Motors is at Wilkins. Wilkins Motors is still the same family business, just has joined the Roottree family. So one of the male Roottrees married a Wilkins at some point and joined the Roottree, like the Motors. It's possible this is where it came from, or over here with Elias M. Roottree. Either one of those could have gone into that business. See if we can figure it out. Roottree Motors are the local family mechanic. Tessa Roottree, our newest fixer, learned all there is to know about cars from her Roottree Motors parents. So, Tessa Roottree is more than likely one of this generation at the bottom here. So I'm going to guess that Ronald is actually... And then that would make... I don't know. That's just all a guess. Alright, so unfortunately that's as far as the Butler Stephanie Jones hint got me. It did get us some more potential useful information. I feel like I'm just missing something that connects a lot of this. It said that her mother had been featured as well. Let's track Stephanie Jones's mother down. Did it? Caroline Jones? Oh my god. Nothing. What is Caroline's last name? Landon? L-E-N-D-O-N? Nothing. Nothing. Maybe it's Caroline Morden? That would put Stephanie Jones on the Morden side. Caroline is listed on a few art websites without much detail. She seems to be associated with a movement called PF E-Flag. Acronym stands for Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. Okay, yeah, that fits. Let's see if we can get a picture of her from the Butler County Times. Alright, you find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden. There isn't much about Caroline as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. Accompanying the story, there's an image of Caroline standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It is captioned, Caroline standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden. The sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait Art of Beauty and Woman. According to a quote further down, Atlantis Burden is meant to symbolize a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. So, alright, this gives us a lot of information. We're going to look into her book as well as some other stuff. But what I'm thinking in the tree now, because she's a Morden and she has an adopted kid, it would be here. No, Morden would be the child. So this would be Caroline Morden. And then that would mean Stephanie Landon. I'd be pissed if I got neither of these guys right. Alright. Perfect. So we did get Clancy's correct picture, and we were able to figure out Robert Roottree, the screenwriter, along with confirming Caroline's information. What I liked about that is that also means that we now know for a fact this is Ronald. I wish I could have locked him in at the same time. More than likely, Ronald is the mechanic? No, that doesn't make sense, because Ron Roottree is mentioned as a screenwriter as well. Because he's the one responsible for the TV show that Thomas Sheridan was in. So did both the brothers become screenwriters? So then which part of the family becomes the mechanics? Possibly here. So this would be Tessa, possibly. Tessa Roottree, the mechanic. And potential. Now, Stephanie Landon, politician? Politics? And she would have her spouse, which would be Jones. Who's Patricia Jones, then? No, because Stephanie Jones was her original name, so Patricia Jones is probably her other mother? Just don't know who the father was. Because that would be Brian Jones. I'm feeling good about this. So let's go learn more about Caroline Morden. Alright. Dedicated to Eloise and Stephanie. Who is Eloise and Stephanie? Stephanie would be the daughter. Maybe Eloise was the spouse? Eloise? Like how it's just a single name, Eloise. Mostly black and white pictures of Caroline's art, the centerpiece is a series of full-colored nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. Okay, man. In the intro, Caroline talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation. And in her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendoline and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. So now we know Gwendoline Morden is Caroline's older sister. And cousin Bonnie. Is Bonnie also a Morden? Bonnie is a Hudson, which is entirely possible that this is where the Hudsons come in. We've already been over this before. I suspect that she married Christopher and Guy is her son. That would make Bonnie one of the children. Right? That Christopher was her husband. Guy would have been this one. And Bonnie could have been this one. Because then that would actually move Tessa over to here? No. I was thinking of the Wilkesies. So Wilkins would have been Katrine, who married into the Roottree family. So it would have been another Roottree here. Probably Edward, based off the way they like to name people. Named after Clancy Edward Roottree. I could see Edward being one of his kids. Clancy Jr. was one. Elias was named after his grandfather, and then Edward could have been named after him, and would have been Edward Roottree, the mechanic. That's what we're guessing for this grouping. I don't know about... I remember something about the Hudsons not long ago. We came across some of their information. I'm guessing here, but that's okay. That's just a guess for now. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Wilson is her brother-in-law. Which one is it? Zach, Steve, or Jason? No idea. We'll go with Jason for now. We know they're all Wilsons then. We'll just put them down here so we get them off the list. Just so we know what's going on over there. Complete bogus. Their marriages led her to double down on her passions, art, and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. She comes out strongly against the Roottree Company's effect on the local environment. Makes sense because of the way that they do farming. They buy out all the farms and turn them into maple farms. And rues how she was not able to convince her father Zach to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark, so her husband was named Mark Landon, which is how you end up with Stephanie Landon, and then Patricia Jones. She became Stephanie Jones. Oh no. That's not how she became Jones. She married into a Jones. So I don't know who this is. Let's leave that one blank for now. Don't know. Unknown female. Jill explains their marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art, and the beauty of woman. Can we learn anything about Dr. Wilson? Dr. Stephen Wilson, there we go. So he is Steve. Steve. He's Steve. Okay, so one of their sons, probably the oldest one I would guess, was be named after Zach. Follows the family tradition. Stephen Wilson, self-proclaimed pediatrician to the stars. Dr. Stephen Wilson is a pediatrician who practices north of Pittsburgh. Although there are a lot of Stephen Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one apparently found a way to game the search results as he pops to the top every time. The only evidence for this is that he apparently was the doctor to the Roottree sisters. There is a picture of him on his website as well as a picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them look as though the photography was holding them hostage. Regardless, the photos have been added to your evidence. There's also a quote that, although credited to his child Jason, you suspect might not have been written by a 10-year-old. My dad is the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. He will treat your children like he would me, my big brother, or my sister. Alright, so this is going to help us figure out the agings of them. So Zach would be the big brother, and then the little sister would be Jem. I'm guessing. These two could be swapped, though. But here's the picture. We have it here. So Jason's the youngest. This is going to be Jem. College, K through 12. Yeah, we're making progress. Damn. Okay. Okay. So we were able to confirm that Christopher Hudson was her husband, so these become Hudsons down the tree. What else were we able to confirm here? I don't think anything else. No. So we're definitely wrong about this. I don't know. I think, yeah, it's just his career that we're not getting right. What would Gwendoline have been? Most likely a housewife. Until we know otherwise, we'll put housewife. Who have we still not identified in this grouping? We've got Elias Edward and Elias M. So we're not looking for 5-piece, we're looking for the other picture. So we're looking for this one. These are the 3 that we haven't identified yet. So no, this doesn't make sense. This would have to be a... Because that would have locked in if that was correct there. The Tessa root tree. So I'm betting that Tessa is from over here. And he would have been part of this group here. Maybe that one? Where's the other kid from that picture? How is he not either of those guys? I'm switching those images around because they didn't lock in before, which means they were on the wrong person. They included Sam, and that's who Sam was. So this would have to be the other sister. Which there can't be a lot of females left. Either November or Christina. But then it should have locked in by now, unless she's a college student too. She's not. I don't know. We'll try and get somebody else and see if any of these lock in, and that'll tell us better. And then Gwendoline would have been part of this generation. Which means she's one of these photos here. Okay, there we go. Found Gwendoline. Which ones are correct? So Tessa is correct. Gem is correct. Okay. What do we got?
On the phone, I said I owed you an explanation. But I can't reveal everything. Not yet. I'm sure this all seems like deception for deception's sake. So I'll try to explain why. It's true, I'm working with lawyers. But not the candy company lawyers. My publisher's lawyers.
Lauren? Lauren, what are you doing?
I'm on the verge of releasing a book, and it's not kind to the Roottrees. Especially Elias and the 5 Pieces. The truth often isn't. But with the plane crash, the publisher is rightfully worried it'll look like I'm making things up to exploit a tragedy. So they're doing their due diligence. That's why you're here. To be sure there's enough evidence for an expert to unearth the whole story.
Interesting.
If I tell you the whole story now, we can't prove that. I hope you understand. That said, I can say that the work you're doing is very personal to me. To my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time, after you fill it in.
More important than the rest, you've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time after you fill it in.
Also, there are fewer Roottrees left. In a sense, that makes it easier. Use process of elimination. It's also harder to verify when you're right. You'll need 4 blood relatives before they lock from here on out.
Okay.
I don't have any more evidence for you, but trust your intuition. If something has a high number, it's not a mistake. You're getting closer and closer to the truth. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, so now we need 4 at a time to lock anything in. I'm so mad that, like, I couldn't figure out the pictures here. For the, for Elias M. Maybe that's not correct. It's definitely a Roottree, though. Maybe Elias C is this one, but I could have swore Elias C is this one. Named after his father. And Elias M. Miracle could have been his middle name. Elias Miracle Roottree. But we did finish this part of the tree. We got all of this locked in. We figured out quite a bit here with Zach's children and grandchildren. We got all of it except for who she married, who Stephanie's adopted mother is. We're making some progress here. We know the Hudsons are this branch of the family now. So that's a lot of progress. We figured out the Wilsons are this branch. I know nothing about down here. What happened here is such a mystery. And it's clearly what Lauren is trying to figure out, who we now know Lauren is the one who is hired us to look into this. And that she cares about figuring out this, the top secret part that's locked. So yeah. A lot of great freaking progress today, guys. I'm really happy. We did go a little bit longer, but not too crazy. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for now. We do have some more... it's not really anything new. We now have to get 4 people's information correct before they will lock in again. And there's not that much left. We've got, 3 more lock-ins before we get the final group to figure out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, 4 different lock-ins left. And that's it. Yeah. We only needed to use help twice there. Or the hints twice to get us on the right track with Stephanie Jones. Figuring out that, and then looking from that information, we were able to learn about Gwendoline, find out about Dr. Steve and their children. Yeah. That's be it for this one, guys. Hope you all have a great, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again next time.